Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. For today's video, I'm proud to present an up-close and personal, in-depth look at the new 2016 Lexus IS200t, equipped with the new 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. As always, this is going to be a detailed, in-depth review of the IS. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip, go over the performance data, take it on a thorough road test, and show you many of the unique aspects of both the interior as well as exterior. A huge thanks and special mention to Farmington Dragway of Mocksville, North Carolina for allowing us to come out there the other day. For more information about the facility, how to take your car out there, and some of the events they're having, please feel free to check out their website provided in the description box below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on in, start it up, let it run. A smart key entry system is standard on all Lexus models. Just tap the little depressed portion once to lock it and then grab the handle, there's a touch sensor behind to unlock it. Our tester is finished in ultra white. The interior color, known as Rioja Red, can only be had on IS F-Sports. We'll discuss more detailed pricing later in the video, but our particular tester equipped with the navigation Mark Levinson surround sound system, blind spot monitoring, and a couple other goodies, stickers for around $45,000 including destination. To start, all you have to do is just make sure you have the key fob within the interior, then simply put your foot on the brake and hit the dash mounted button to go. The IS features rack and pinion steering with electric power assistance on all models, unless you opt for the variable gear ratio steering on rear-wheel drive IS350 F-Sports. The 200t has a steering ratio of 13.2 and it takes 2.84 turns to lock. The F-Sport's 3-spoke steering wheel is wrapped in perforated leather across the sides and highlighted by color contrast stitching and a special badge in the bottom spoke. There's an array of multifunction controls on the upper spokes, grip bolsters at 10 and 2, and satin silver trim below the airbag cover. I love the feel of both the steering and the wheel itself. Feedback transmitted is excellent for electric steering. You're even able to adjust the resistance via the drive modes in the center console, firming it or relaxing it based on personal preference. I personally prefer the added resistance in sport mode, but overall the IS feels relatively light and easy to toss around. The quick ratio steering is responsive and sporty, leading to a noticeable feeling of agility and excitement through the corners. Unlike the NX200t we looked at last year, which delivered power to the front wheels through a 6-speed automatic, the IS200t sends power exclusively to the rear wheels through an 8-speed automatic. No manual transmission is available. However, you are able to shift it manually via the console shifter or by a set of steering wheel paddle shifters. Lexus states the gearbox was originally developed for the RCF Coupe, a descendant of the original ISF's gearbox. Having driven both of those cars, I'm so happy it's trickled down to the 200t. It's a fantastic transmission and performs right on par with the many other excellent 8-speeds we've driven in the last year. In this case though, the transmission is able to vary its shifting strategy based on G-forces. It automatically downshifts during hard braking before a corner, holds a lower gear through the corner, and selects a proper gear on corner exit to benefit throttle response and lead to quicker acceleration. Speaking of gear changes, the RCF can upshift in just 100 milliseconds. I'm not sure if the IS200t shifts are quite that quick, but I wouldn't be surprised as it does feel comparable to some dual clutch transmissions. When approaching red line, the tachometer glows red to let you know the proper shifting interval. Rev matching downshifts smooth out the transitions. Behind the shifter is a silver rotary dial that corresponds to your 3 driving modes, Eco, Normal, and Sport. Normal is the default mode when you start the car, otherwise it could be activated by pushing down on the button. Eco prioritizes fuel economy so the transmission shifts at lower RPMs and throttle response is reduced. Sport mode does the opposite, livening things up a bit while firming up the steering. Behind the dial is your stability control and a snow mode to prioritize traction in slippery scenarios. So let's go ahead and flip on the automatic LED headlamps, as well as the hazards. All 4 windows are fully automatic. One pretty cool thing about the windows, and this is common to a lot of new Lexus models, is that they actually slow down towards the bottom and top so they don't make any loud noises. Now let's go and check out the exterior. Upon closing the door, the vehicle will chime to let you know it's lost detection of the proximity key fob. For 2016, the Lexus IS lineup sees the addition of 2 new models and the discontinuation of the IS250 and IS250 all-wheel drive. Replacing the latter is the IS200t, featuring a turbocharged 4-cylinder to replace the aging base V6. It delivers significantly more power with livelier performance, a bump in fuel economy, and greater drive and enjoyment than its predecessor. As we'll discuss in the performance section of the video, the Audi A4, BMW 3 Series, Cadillac ATS, and the Mercedes-Benz C-Class all offer similar entry-level engines, so this is a welcomed upgrade when it comes to staying competitive, especially for cross-shoppers. Since the 200t is only available in a rear-wheel drive form, Lexus has also introduced a new entry-level all-wheel drive model by bringing back the IS300 nameplate. It features a detuned version of the IS350's 3.5-liter V6 to produce 255 horsepower and 236 pound-feet of torque, and it's sold exclusively with all-wheel drive and a 6-speed automatic transmission. Pricing for the IS begins at $37,325 for the 200t, $39,700 for the 300, $40,870 for the 350, and $43,035 for the 350 all-wheel drive. Regardless of which model you're looking at, all are available with the distinctive F-Sport package. First introduced back in 2014, the 3rd generation IS features a wheelbase that's 2.7 inches longer than its predecessor, accompanied by an increase in overall length by 3.4 inches. Width and height see modest increases by less than half an inch. All put together, it leads to improved passenger space. Front passengers gain 0.9 inches of additional leg space and a bit more headspace due to the driver's seat sitting about 0.75 inches lower than the 2nd generation. Rear passengers get an additional 1.6 inches of leg space, 0.7 inches of shoulder room, and 0.2 inches of headspace. Along with the added size came a redesigned unibody structure that's much stiffer this go-around thanks to extra spot welds, laser screw welds, new cross members, braces, and more body adhesive bonding. Laser welds fuse the roof with the door frames, eliminating any unsightly gutters to either side while boosting fit and finish and structural integrity. By implementing more high and ultra-high tensile steel and aluminum, Lexus shaved about 22 pounds from the chassis. Of course, the biggest way the new IS sets itself apart not only from its predecessor but the competition is the wild new styling language. A progressive evolution of the L finesse philosophy that's migrated to all Lexus models in recent time, many design cues seem to have jumped straight from concept to production, giving the new IS a fresh look all its own. It's visually loud, aggressive, and modern, exactly what L finesse is all about. Its polarizing nature has been met with some criticism as you might expect, but it's highly unique and that's what makes it quite awesome in my books. The front lighting features detached LED daytime running lights and standard HID headlamps. Full LED headlamps are standard on the F-Sport. The partial LED tail lamps echo the L theme of the front and wrap around the fenders before coming into sharp downward points as they meet up with a line that appears to bisect the rear wheel wells before blending into the side skirts. F-Sports also feature a black mesh spindle grille to replace the bars of the standard car, and a more aggressive front fascia that trades fog lamps for massive air intakes that aid in cooling the engine and brakes. Inspired by the ISF, the new domed hood races over the wide fenders. Additionally, F-Sports receive unique side skirts and rear bumper with integrated diffusers along with distinct wheels and badging. Dual polished exhaust tips finish off the sporty look across all models. F-Sport models feature a unique set of asymmetric, graphite-finished 5 twin-spoke alloy wheels, measuring 18 by 8 inches in front and 18 by 8.5 inches in the rear. They're wrapped in 225/40 and 255/35 Bridgestone summer tires respectively, that'll help hold around 0.85 g of lateral acceleration. For 2016, all IS models feature the same braking setup consisting of 4-wheel internally ventilated discs. Up front, there's 13.2-inch rotors with 4-piston sliding calipers and 12.2-inch rotors in the rear with single-piston sliding calipers. I'd estimate the stopping distance from 60 miles an hour to be just a hair over 110 feet. Overall, the brakes felt strong and never exhibited a hint of fade after a few repeated hard stops. The suspension is fully independent with double wishbones in front, a multi-link rear setup, and front and rear stabilizer bars. Available in the IS350 F-Sport is an adaptive variable suspension that's tied to Sport and Sport Plus driving modes, allowing you to tailor the ride and handling more to your liking of driving spiritedly on a twisty road. In general, the IS has a very compliant and smooth ride befitting of a Lexus, but it's still firm enough to deliver an engaging and fun experience that you'd expect from a small sports sedan. It feels refined over a variety of road surfaces. No unpleasant noises, vibrations, or harshness was ever noticed over my week of driving. Overall length is 183.7 inches, with a width between the mirrors of 79.8 inches and a height of 56.3 inches. Wheelbase is 110.2 inches, while curb weight for the 200t is 3,583 pounds. 54% of that weight rides over the front. The IS200t is powered by an all-aluminum 2-liter longitudinal 4-cylinder that's boosted by a twin-scroll turbocharger. Shared with the NX200t, it's slightly modified for this application to develop 6 additional horsepower. Featuring dual overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, and a combination of port and direct fuel injection, the Turbo 4 carries a compression ratio of 10:1 with an indicated redline of around 6,250 RPM. A unique variable valve timing system optimizes torque throughout the power band by allowing the car to start in the auto cycle before transitioning to the more efficient Atkinson cycle, which reduces pumping losses and promotes better overall fuel economy. The engine is surprisingly quick, especially around town, as Lexus placed a priority on overall responsiveness, especially at low speeds with minimal turbo lag thanks in part to a 4x2 exhaust manifold. Combining the cylinder head, exhaust manifold, and intercooler with variable wastegate control fattens up the low-end torque. The water-cooled intercoolers mounted directly on the engine, lowering charge air temperatures for more efficient combustion. With up to 17 psi of boost, the engine produces 241 horsepower at 5,800 RPM and 258 pound-feet of torque between 1,650 and 4,400 RPM. That's a substantial increase of 37 horsepower and 73 pound-feet of torque over the outgoing 2.5-liter V6 that was used in the previous IS250, making it quite competitive now amongst the competition's entry models. 0 to 60 miles an hour takes about 7 seconds, while top speed is estimated to be in the neighborhood of 140 miles an hour. It's worth noting that the IS200t is also a very quiet car, not only in normal driving but high-speed acceleration. It never sounded strained, everything appeared well insulated. Apparently, Lexus offers a performance exhaust system that might be worth looking into if you desire more sound, since unlike the NX200t, the IS200t does not come with an interior electronic sound enhancer. As far as fuel economy, the IS requires 91 octane or higher and features a 17.4 gallon tank. EPA estimates range between 22 miles to a gallon in the city and 33 on the highway. Expect an average of around 25-26 miles to a gallon. The current generation IS boasts a well-made, comfortable, and sporty interior. The majority of interior surfaces are finished in soft-touch materials, including the sides of the center console. The latter provides a nice resting place for your knees on longer trips. I especially like the two-tone color options along with the subtle touches of contrast stitching. Like the exterior, the interior styling is very modern and new age, blending sharp lines and flowing curves while focusing on delivering an easy-to-understand layout. At first glance, there's a lot going on, but the attention to detail is first-rate as you'd expect. Overall ergonomics are quite good as everything is within easy reach. Compared to the standard IS, the F-Sport features a handful of unique interior appointments, including the perforated steering wheel and shift knob, silver performance trim pieces across the doors and dash, along with more aggressive seats, aluminum pedals, an LFA-inspired instrument cluster, and a black headliner. The front seats are fully powered, while the driver's seat gains two-way adjustable lumbar. The sportier design of the F-Sport seats combine firm bolstering with excellent overall body support and plenty of padding in all the right places. The new Lux leatherette upholstery is some of the highest quality synthetic leather I've ever felt and should offer a lot of durability in the long run. 3-stage seat heating and cooling is standard on the F-Sport. The headrests and seatbelts are adjustable. The glove box is locking and offers a modest amount of space, but to fully take advantage of it though, you'll likely want to remove the large owner's manual. The IS is designed from the get-go to be a safe car and features 10 airbags throughout the interior, including knee airbags for the driver and passenger. Adaptive cruise control with pre-collision detection is available, along with blind spot monitoring and rear cross-traffic alert. The steering wheel is manual tilting, telescoping, and a one-touch open and close sunroof is standard. So let's go ahead and see how she sounds, both sitting still and on the road. This example features the optional 17-speaker 835-watt Mark Levinson 5.1 channel surround sound system routed through the Lexus Inform navigation infotainment system and remote touch interface. We've talked about this in previous Lexus reviews, so if you want to check that out more in depth, click the links in the top right hand corner of the video. By far my favorite interior feature exclusive to the F-Sport models is the instrument cluster, composed of a large central tachometer that can be slid to the right to expose a very detailed driver information system with radio, telephone, navigation, vehicle settings, and more. Inspired by the LFA, the system works beautifully and it's quite easy to use. The Lexus remote touch interface is probably one of the more unique infotainment setups currently available. Instead of using a touchscreen or a rotary push dial, you have what looks like a computer mouse in the center console. There's a comfortable handrest and you basically move the little toggle around and push down to select an option. The sensation is very neat, very different. It takes a little bit of time to get used to. In addition to audio feedback, there's actual physical feedback via vibrations that's transferred through the little controller. It feels like you're scrolling or pushing through various menus. You just point the mouse in the direction that you want to go and it automatically attaches to the various menus that you could then push down and select an option. The IS comes standard with a dual-zone electronic automatic climate control system with heated exterior mirrors, not to mention these cool electrostatic climate controls for the temperature adjustments, so all you have to do is just drag your finger up and down to make the adjustments. Of course, like everything else, attention to detail is phenomenal. There's LED interior illumination, not to mention SOS emergency roadside assistance. So let's go ahead and shut her down. Now we'll go ahead and check out backseat space and amenities. As you might expect, the back seat of the IS is a bit on the small side. I mean, it's a smaller sedan, but it's not cramped by any means, at least for my height. I'm 5'10" and with a comfortable seating position for myself in front, I easily have, 4.5, 5 inches of leg space, and maybe about an inch and a half of headspace. It's also really rather comfortable. The seats got a kind of sporty design to it. The middle portion sits up a bit higher, so these outer portions sit down low. There's good lateral bolsters to either side and even a lot of lower back support. Very, very comfortable. There's 3 adjustable headrests back here, a 3rd seat belt, so you can seat a total of 5 people in the IS. You're not going to want to sit someone my height in the middle right here. So a child or someone smaller, I would basically reserve this seat for temporary use, because obviously someone of my height, they're gonna have to put their head all over the place, and the biggest problem is gonna be like the width of the vehicle. So I really don't think you could fit 3 people my size back here, because you're just cutting in too much into the outer portions right here. There's also a big drivetrain hump right here, so you're gonna have to spread your legs, and that might cut into leg room. So it can be done, and it's nice that it's there, but definitely probably for temporary use. As far as storage space, there's 2 pockets in the back of the seat, but that's pretty much it. 2 air vents down below there, grip handles up top, coat hooks, and some illumination. In the middle right here, you have a full padded armrest, another nice touch, kind of locks in place, with 2 cup holders. Build quality, of course, is excellent back here, just like the front. Across the midsection and above, you have soft touch material on the doors, and everything closes with a nice solid feel. So yeah, that's it for the back seat. Let's go ahead and hop back out and check out the cargo space. Out back, the IS has 13.8 cubic feet of cargo space. There's cargo tie-downs and a removable cargo net. A temporary spare tire can be found underneath the trunk floor. Lexus also includes a first aid kit that's stowed into the trunk. Everything is lined in soft carpet. If you need some extra cargo space, you can fold down the 60-40 split rear seat and load up cargo all the way to the front. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed the in-depth look at the 2016 Lexus IS200t. Be sure to stay tuned next time, there's a lot more where that came from. Take care guys.